Hey guys, I'm going to start off with what you see as you come down the basement hallway. That's going to be the opening view of my railroad for people coming down. Anyway, so let's zoom around a little bit more. Anyway, on to business. As you can see, I've got more stuff in place. Nothing's glued down just now, and it's not finalized yet. Ooh, a little bit more. I've got my footings in place, but I guess first there's some gaps, primarily there, and this one. That one's a little low as well. This is my high point, this one. I've got to tap that down a bit. Now, 3 of my footings are in wood. Actually 4. 2 here, 1 back there, which is the one that's keeping this one high, and 1 over there. The rest are just stuck into the foam. What I use for the footings is just, it's supposed to be 1/2 inch dowel. It's actually slightly wider than that. We'll come back to that. And that's what I drilled into the foam with. It's actually 3/8 of an inch. But it works out really well, because once I've drilled out the hole and back and forth a couple of times to move extra styrofoam out, the dowel slips in pretty tightly. None of the dowels are glued down yet. And the problem I had with the wood is obviously 3/8 is not going to cut it in wood. It's not going to stretch or expand like the foam did. Turns out my dowel is slightly wider. It's 0.51 something of an inch. So my biggest bit is 1/2 inch. So I had to sand and scrape it down a bit to get it to fit. I'll use this again, because like I said, that one piece in the wood over there is my highest one. So instead of racking everything around it with a hammer, I'm probably just going to put this on top and give it a couple of taps with a hammer and get it down to where it matches better with the rest of the top of the legs. And I've got my, what do you call them, abutments in place at both ends. I had to cut into the styrofoam for that. Not a biggie. This one I've only painted partially, same with these legs, because I'm going to do the scenery in line. So you're only going to see a little bit, but might as well drill down and use that as a good solid foundation. But once I'm happy with the leveling of everything, I'm going to use a pipette, and hopefully it'll work. Water down a bit of white glue and glue all of these in place so that when I come back to do scenery, hopefully I don't bump anything and knock one of them low. These will all still move up and down. Get that out of the way. If you give them a twist, they'll come up and down or right out. So I can adjust everything before I glue it in place, and I've got to do that before I do the scenery. But you can see now see light at the end of the tunnel, as it were. And once I'm done these, this is all coming out so I can do the scenery. And even after then, I'll end up giving these some weathering, making them a little bit rusty and faded, and see what I can do with them before I go on any further. And then I'll come back and do my trees and stuff. And I'm still waiting on my tunnel portal from eBay. But this looks like where I'm going to put my old abandoned track with the tunnel portal in here. And then a tree and some shrubs growing through the track and ballast, just to make the point that it's old and abandoned. So that's where I'm at. Have a good night.